Here's the exciting conclusion to last week's show with guests Tina Simonian and Richard Iniguez.
You know what project, though, I did really love that wasn't necessarily...
No, that time passed.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, we're moving on. Moving on.
I was going to say it wasn't really a part.
Oh.
To answer like your other question, it wasn't like a film role. But man, I loved working in that haunted house because they hired a bunch of actors to work in that gallows haunted house where we all had...
telling me,
Yeah, we all had to be like specific characters inside of this big building, and they would reach certain points and we had to usher them along. And there were other scare actors that would jump out and scare them, but that wasn't my part. My part was to like talk to them and usher them along.
But you called it Gallows House?
It was the Gallows 2, and it was inside of the Veterans Memorial Auditorium, but it was fashioned to be a school, like a high school.
No. Don't you see what Gallows? The
Haunted
concept that
house.
was anybody hanging? Did you have anybody? Oh, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Did you use a real person or did you?
In the movie, they used
It was a movie.
there were 2 movies. Yeah. So the one movie was a huge hit. I think they spent like $10,000 shooting it. Warner Brothers loved it, gave them another $20,000 or something. They spent next to nothing on it, and they ended up making like $50 million or something like that. Something obnoxious, something insane.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah. So they gave them the
Yeah,
funding.
right.
Yeah, something.
Laugh.
I know.
Laugh,
I
you
know.
fool.
Laugh harder.
See, he can do that on cue. See, just like
He's an
that. That was
actor.
in the script.
Yeah.
See, just now.
Yeah, so they gave them funding for the Gallows 2, and they also gave them some sort of a budget or something to do a haunted house.
At the
So
same
in
time. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
so because the
So
whole
was that
point-
like a promotion thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was for the second film to come out. So they hired all of us actors to go in and play certain characters that would have been the people that were haunted and stuck inside of the school, but it was actually a memorial auditorium that they shot in to make it look like the school. So the place where they shot the movie is where we went and did like the haunted interactive maze thing.
Oh.
Yeah. So we went and did that, but it was basically a giant scare house. So they did hire scare actors to jump out and scare you. The guy's name was Charlie, and at the time there was like this little kid game that was going around the internet about Charlie and them writing, I don't know, some sort of a Charlie, you should look it up, some sort of a Charlie game on the internet where Charlie was like haunting kids in real life. Obviously not true. But because of that little game internet sensation going around, the Gallows got a lot of popularity because the guy's name was Charlie, and he would like haunt you and you'd get hung. So the first movie, everyone was in a school. So we went to the school to do the haunted house, and then they hired a few of us on to do the second movie. It was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
How long ago was the second movie released?
After the first movie, or how long? Like it was.
Yeah, because it's the second movie.
Yeah, the first movie.
They released the second one first.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't remember when any of them was released.
No, it was a 4-year gap. It says the
Like,
first
if there was a-
Gallows was 2015 and second one, Act 2,
Yep, that's it.
was 2019. So
And that was it. They haven't done another one.
No, I don't think the second one got the ratings the first one did, but they also catered a lot to a specific crowd. I don't think they really made it their
Specific
own.
crowd.
Yeah, they had a lot more influence from certain individuals that were inside of the film and helping maybe fund the film.
Mhm.
And I think they catered. I just think they catered to certain people that were on set.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, more because there were more people on set this time around for the
See,
second
because
film.
who owns the rights?
bigger.
I think the 2 guys who created it, their names are Chris and Travis. I think they own the rights. But like I said, they had control over the project. And I think that they took into consideration a lot of people's opinions instead of just doing what they'd done the first time,
Right.
which was
right.
make the movie they wanted to make, you know?
Yeah.
They tried to go bigger, better, more.
Yeah, definitely. And again, I don't think it was with any like the people who were giving the recommendations and suggestions and stuff like that. They wanted the best for the film, you know. So that's why they took everyone's recommendations and suggestions, and it was like a big melting pot project. The second time around, it wasn't like the true vision that they had the first time, I think. But it was a good movie. I thought it was a great movie, actually. Good movie is an understatement. I thought it was a great movie. The
So there
few
was-
hangings they had were crazy.
So there wasn't that much of an audience, or you saying?
No, there wasn't. But like I said, to be honest with you, I don't even know. I think that maybe if they tweaked it a little tiny bit and made it a little less campy, a little more
You talking about the
slasher
second one?
horror, yeah,
I mean,
made it a little scarier.
Isn't there room for number 3?
There is, and I think
Steal it from them.
no, I don't want to steal it from them.
They're not listening.
No, they're not listening. They're not. But there was room for sure because
But we want them to listen.
we want them to listen. But the second movie was basically this girl who was trying to fit in. She was a new student. She was trying to fit in, and she meets this guy, and weird stuff starts happening to her, and the guy's trying to help her out.
Is that your part?
No, no, I actually got to help a lot behind the scenes with this. Yeah, but by the end of the movie, the guy was the one behind it all. And kind of like
But wait a
tricked
minute,
her into it.
you're a director too.
Yeah, that's what I did for this project. I was like one of the assistant directors on the project. Yeah. They had 2 directors and 2 assistant directors.
Well, what do you like best? Directing, writing, producing, acting?
I really love directing and I really love acting. Those are definitely my favorite 2 things.
Gun to the head.
Gun to the head, had to choose acting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, I'm not trying to be that person, but being an actor on screen, you kind of get like pampered a little, and you get to just be there. You get to know your
So does the
lines,
director.
No, not my projects. I wish there was somebody around pampering me. That's because you've had me as a producer to pamper you. That's why. That's why you enjoy being a director. I enjoy it. Obviously, I chose it. Like I said, those are my
51.
top.
Yeah, please.
gmail.com.
Yeah, this
All the
one's for
hate mail
Tina.
directed towards Tina. But I like I said, if I had to choose gun to my head, yeah, I'm gonna choose the profession where I'm just like pampered all day, and I get to wear pretty clothes a lot of the times. I get to have my hair and makeup done. Not all the time. The shift didn't have that, but
Well,
a lot of the time. Like
you-
sometimes, no.
You didn't sit in your walk-in closet staring at a mirror
Yeah,
because
for
you wanted to
nothing.
direct.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
true.
I did a lot of crying
You
for
chased-
nobody
you chased your
but
dream.
me.
Yeah. Clearly acting was the bug.
But
Yeah.
You know, directing though and writing, as challenging as both of those are, you're basically being an actor.
You have to put on all the hats.
Yes, exactly. The
You know.
writer though has more hats to put on because you not only are you acting, you're directing the story,
Mhm.
and you're putting all the emotions that
Yep.
you have to go through as well, because you have to see that. And for me, I really enjoyed directing when I did, and I was directing myself, having written the script as well.
Mm.
You know,
So, okay, let me ask you, doing that then, were you still able to give attention to the character while you were directing and worrying about everyone else's performances while you were doing that as well?
that's a good question, and I'm gonna show you something.
Show me.
Well, I can't show it to you, but I'll tell you.
Oh, that's huge.
I'll tell you what it was. When I couldn't say action because this was my first time directing a movie, right?
Okay.
And I couldn't say action. And I'd go over to the AD and just say action, say action, action, because I was in Costa Rica, so he
Okay.
says it in Spanish. And I would tell him beforehand, don't cut until I look at you from the scene, because I needed ends to cut
For sure.
through stuff. But when I'm in the scene, I get lost sometimes in the scene. And the strangest thing happens to me. When I'm really into it, I'm actually over here looking down. It's the spookiest thing in the world. I see myself and I see the other actors but I see everybody. And I don't pay attention to it, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I just know I know I'm there looking at myself. And then when we finish the scene, inside myself, I go, holy moly. It's euphoric. It's a weird feeling.
That's
Right.
wild.
But I'm also freer because the dialogue comes out a lot easier, and I'm focused on each individual that I'm working with and so forth. But at the same time, I know what the camera's capturing.
Mm-hmm.
It's the weirdest thing. Yeah. So I enjoy acting and I enjoy directing myself, and it doesn't bother me. I'm not saying it's a good thing, for everybody,
Yeah.
because I've heard other actors who have directed themselves and they wished that maybe going back they shouldn't have done it. But Kevin Costner did a good job. So does George Clooney. So does Barbara Streisand. Oh man, I cried my eyes out in Yentl. You know?
Yeah.
And what that woman did with that camera and that story and that, just takes your breath away.
Yeah.
She doesn't get enough accolades as the consummate artist that she is.
Right.
Agreed. I love her. I'm a big fan of her. A Star is Born. What's his name? Bradley Cooper. Yeah, so he did a good job too, directing
He
and
did.
acting.
Excellent job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. It, if you know who you are, you know what you want from the scene. And, going back to what you were saying, you're right. There were times that the AD would come to me and says, Richard, we need your close up, more on this. No, let's do a two-way here with the two of us over my shoulder, and then I'll sort of like cheat in. And he says, no, we don't see enough of your starring in the movie. Come on,
Yeah.
because you can leave yourself out because you're focused on the other performers and not the character. And that's where you have to be careful, because the characters, especially if he or she is the lead, then you have to make sure that you're giving that character its proper time.
Right.
And you got to be careful,
And so when you were doing that, you didn't have monitors and stuff? Were you doing dailies?
We were talking about that, I think, when we went to the Severn thing at Deadhead Studios or something.
Brain Dead.
Brain Dead
Studios.
Brain Dead Studios. I had my moviola with me in Costa Rica.
Okay.
Okay, a moviola.
Wait, you took a moviola?
I took a moviola. Yes, a big back then, of course.
Come on, are you
Yes.
fucking kidding me?
We shipped everything in an airplane.
Okay.
That's another business side of it. We got, I think, 12 flights for free, round trips.
Wow.
We had
That
all
is
our
impressive.
actors and all that. We got hotels for free, for rooms and so forth, because they're in the movie. There's a lot you can do with product placement. Anyway, so
I went to Denver for 9 hours.
so I now have the wherewithal to send the negative to the lab and have them send me back dailies.
Okay.
And I go, no, I don't think so. Because after a while, everybody wanted to see the scene. And then they're all rushing. Oh, no, I didn't get video assist.
Okay.
But I did have my moviola
Yeah.
because I wanted to start editing immediately. But once I started doing this thing, it started to work. I didn't want to take the time to stop and look at the scene again. Now, I remember when I was in doing this in the beginning, there was no video assist. Sure, they saw dailies, but, that was the next day or whatever. But video assist was always one of those things that was new, and everybody would take too much time.
Right.
So I just kept going. I knew what I saw in the scene was right, and I relied on my cinematographer and my script supervisor. And at one point, the cinematographer I brought and his best boy, I had to send him back. And he took with him a reel of film that was exposed. Yeah. And so I sat down with the script supervisor. I said, okay, let's figure out what he's got. Because we're here. I'm not going to come back to Costa Rica. So I have to shoot whatever is missing. And we went through the whole thing, and we figured out more or less what he took.
Oh, my God.
Reshot it, But that's the beauty of doing a movie on your own, especially if you're the director. You're on your feet 24/7.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've seen the film, the
Yes.
one I did in Costa Rica.
Yeah.
Well, all the special effects and so forth, I had pre-planned, but I still needed to bring it to the studio here to do the visual effect.
Right.
But we did a lot of visual effects in the camera.
Yeah.
And we created the rain. And so here's the thing. In Costa Rica, it rains every day in the afternoon. we're ready for our rain shots and so forth. It don't rain.
Of course.
It
Well,
doesn't rain. I'm going, oh my. I said, okay, call the bomberos. What are bomberos? Those are the firemen. Bring the truck over. We're going to need them to do the hose thing into the tree. And then I'll backlight it so I can see the drops coming down.
Right.
And then the actor do his thing. But yeah, you have to be ready to improvise. They never, in Costa Rica, they never knew what, I called it hot ice. It's dry ice. And I created a little flow, like a little a waterfall, where the main character is supposed to be on a rock and so forth. And I sent the guy to go get some dry ice. And hielo seco is in Spanish, dry ice. And he goes, what the hell is that? I said, go to the ice cream shop. He goes, he comes back, he says, here it is. I said, okay, come with me. I grab it, and I'm throwing pieces into the water. And all of a sudden, everybody stops what they're doing, and they go over and look, and they start to see the little fog following the downfall of the water going down in the trickle. And they go, oh, it's like it's a miracle. Look, it was a miracle. You know, I'm going, no, it's just dry ice. It's just, it was the funniest thing. But those little things are in the world that that you're going to apply based on what you need at that moment in the movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I should write a book about that movie, let me tell you.
Absolutely.
Here we go with the book again.
Yeah.
I've been telling them to write a book for years.
Oh, that's right. You
Write
did
that
tell me.
book.
I have. Wow. And you?
Wait, what was the original question?
I just wanted to.
We had a long.
It's whatever you want.
Yeah.
Whatever you want.
Just your favorite, part of
The whole process?
Yes. What do you really like?
I really like
Did you ever have to save a movie?
save a movie.
Something was going wrong and you know it and nobody else can see it.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. It's always camera stuff with me.
Yep.
Yeah, it's always shots, exposition stuff.
Example?
One of the times I was working on a project, I don't know why the director, it's like, what are you doing? He wanted the guy was leaned up against a pole, okay, on one of the wide shots. And then he wants to move the camera to the left of the guy and have the guy standing like 5 feet in front of the pole. And I'm like, wait. So in the wide, you can see the guy leaning on the pole.
Yeah.
And now when you go into the side, you're shooting the same scene with a huge gap between the guy and the pole.
Yeah.
And every time you switch back and forth, you're going to see that happen.
You'll be jumping.
And when I tell you, the director was arguing with me, and I was like, listen, at the end of the day, I'm just I think I was like the second AC or something like that. No. I was an assistant director. And I think that's why he wasn't really listening to me, because he's like, well, what do you know about cameras? And I was like, no, I promise you, I know about cameras. And I'm telling you, I know about shots and the way you set stuff up. And this is wrong. Everyone's going to be completely taken out of it. Because here's a wide and there's the guy right in the middle leaning on the pole. And the guy who was talking was like one person away from him, like the main character in the scene, to where it's like, you're obviously going to see the guy.
Yeah.
You're not going to be paying attention to the main guy talking because you're going to look at the guy who's so far away, who magically transports back and forth, who's flying back and forth every single time the camera moves. But that also happened with the bottle, where one of our director of photography said he had to move the bottle that was in the shot because he was moving camera angles. And we were like, what? What do you mean? If you move the bottle, that every time you flip back and forth between the shots, the bottle's going to be jumping back and forth across the table. And he was so insistent that that wasn't the case. And we were like, okay, well, let's shoot one your way and we'll shoot one my way. Because I don't know how else to explain this to you. We'll have to show you in the editing room that this is incorrect. But we'll definitely, thank God we were paying attention, because they was like, what? You're the director of photography, sir. Didn't you know this?
Well, you would think that he has so many eyeballs on the scene that he would know better.
Yeah. But
you spoke up, and I think that's important. One of the things that happened to me on this same movie, we're in the church that we built, and the action is taking place at the altar, which is, it's the background. But a priest comes up into a window on the outside of the church looking in. And if the altar is over here, well, obviously he's going to be looking that way, right? You would think. Well, we shot that scene first and we forgot about it. And then when it came time to shoot his close-up, we're going, oh, crap. Camera left, camera right. Oh, script supervisor, camera left, camera right. And she would give her opinion. Then the cameraman would give his opinion. And I'm sitting there going, as the director now, you have to make the final decision, right?
Yeah.
I go, camera right. Okay. So I see it in the rushes. I was wrong. And so what happens? I said, well, how do I fix this? Oh, we'll just flip it, Richard. Don't worry about it. The editor says to me. And true, you flip it, but it's film. So he's soft. That little bit of millimeter is soft. I would notice.
Yes.
You would notice.
Right.
But, the audience could care less because they're in the scene.
Yeah.
Right.
But, lessons learned, let me tell you, just crazy.
Yeah. Crazy.
And cutaways. That was the other thing. The editor would tell me he was Hungarian,
Okay.
doing a Latino film, right? Spanish, and so he doesn't understand a word. And he says, Richard, cutaways. We need cutaways. We're going to wait a minute. Let's steal them from another scene. Let's do it because we were cutting down anyway. So we had to steal because I was still learning directing, and there was nobody around me that's telling me about cutaways,
Right.
because I just didn't think about it.
Yeah.
I did some, but you learn really big time when you're in the editing room and it goes, oh, I'm in a transition here. You can't because he's over there and she's over, and this is over there. Just like what you were talking about. Then how do we fix it? Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I got really lucky with My Roommate's a Vampire. It was the first short film I ever did. And like I said, just pure luck because our director of photography, his name was Michael Bauer, and he'd been shooting videos for such a long time. And he worked with this company called like Stellar Lens or something like that. But they were one of the bigger companies in Fresno that shot films and shot commercials.
Wow.
He did a lot of weddings, so he just was so knowledgeable. And he came in and was like, he helped me and my friend Nicole out a lot because we would get our shot list together, and he's like, okay, well, that's fine, but if I'm editing this, you're going to need this, this, and this, so you're going to have to add these shots in too. And we were like, okay.
Who came up with that idea?
My Roommate's a Vampire? I think it was both Nicole and I together.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I obviously look like I could be a vampire with my pale skin and my dark hair and my dark eyes. So it was just like a natural thing where she was like, yeah, you be the vampire. Like I said, she was one of the people that I did a lot of sketch comedy with. We did a lot of comedy and improv and stuff like that together. So we just wanted to do something funny. And we thought it would be funny to do a short film about the vampire whose roommate is moving in. She's moving in with the roommate that's a vampire. Like they're going to go to school together. And then there's like the vampire's family is around.
Night school.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a fun project. We did a lot of
And how did it do in the competition?
Pretty well, actually. I actually took it and entered it into a bunch of other competitions, and it did even better in other competitions that didn't have 24 or 48 hours to shoot it. They had weeks to shoot it, and ours still did better than a lot of those. So it was fun. We showed it at a Flappers Comedy Club at one point as well.
In Burbank?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it did really well there,
I
too.
should have went to that.
You should have went to that, but some jerk didn't want you to. They decided to just ditch you. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Weird.
Yeah.
Didn't know that.
That happened.
Yeah. Are you ditchable?
I guess so.
Yeah. Some guy just was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go see a movie premiere for my friend. Thanks for the ride, Brad. See you later." That's literally how it happened.
Nice.
Well, you should have come. I could have made some extra money off you. You could have bought a ticket. You could have made an extra.
Spoken like a true
like
actor.
$3.50.
Yeah.
Okay, I have a question because I was falling asleep while you guys were talking.
So now you know how we feel.
Really though, is there something you would tell your younger self getting into this business?
Yeah, don't do it.
No, I would never tell. I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
Don't encourage people or don't.
Right.
I would do the opposite. I would say, look, knowing myself now, I would help that person. Ask me questions, show me something. You want me to do a scene with you? I'll do a scene with you. I'll read it. You do it.
Yeah.
Because you give them hope.
Right.
This is not an easy game. It's a very, very, very difficult. It's a confidence destroyer and self-esteem destroyer.
Yes.
Because we blame ourselves for not getting that job. We don't look right. We're not pretty enough. We're not tall enough. We're not smart enough, and all those things. And we put that on ourselves, which is not fair. And then that creates anxiety, stress, and so forth. That's what actors go through all the time.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't actually say don't do it, but I try. I try to tell people not to do it at first.
Yeah.
But I always tell them to pick, besides their acting craft, pick something else also in addition to that will help them. Like for example, learn how to edit a movie.
Mm-hmm.
Learn how to do sound, perhaps. Learn a different skill.
Right.
That if you, for some horrible reason, can't find a job acting, you can find a job doing something else that you are passionate and you really like to do, that you actually really want to learn. Don't just pick a throwaway job and be like, nah, I guess cameras are cool. No, pick something you think that what you would actually really, really, really be interested in, that you could use and utilize in your own films, if that's what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Passion.
Yeah. Let your passion drive you to make a really smart decision about how you can make money and support yourself while you're trying to support your career and become a better actor. Because like you said, it's a lot easier to work on your own projects. And to work on your own projects, you need to have money. And a lot of the times it's hard to be a working actor. Richard, you're very talented and you got lucky with meeting the right people and you continue to make good decisions that kept you in the right group of people and you were able to keep working. Same thing with me. I got very lucky.
I'm not so sure right now, but
but you talk about all the people you've worked with and they're amazing people. There's a huge roster of legends you've worked with, and it wasn't luck. You were very smart and careful and calculated about what you did, but you did more than acting. You directed, you produced, you learned a lot of other skills that really helped you be a better actor and help you continue to land the jobs. So that's what I like to tell people. That's what I would tell myself. Learn sooner. Learn a lot of crafts sooner. Learn how to edit. I already knew how to shoot and photography, stuff like that. I love that. But I'm talking about something like me. I would have done something else. I wish I'd learned how to edit personally. Something a little bit more.
Well, I'm naturally curious. So when I started this whole thing, I'm right there by the cinematographer. He sits in his chair. But I watch him. He's telling the best boy this, that. They come to him and he's doing the camera. And I always ask him, okay, what lens do you have? Oh, nipple. So it's right here. Yeah, throat right about here. Extreme. Oh, we're here now. And then I knew what I had to do.
Yeah.
Because if it's extreme close-up, you're not doing this.
Right.
You're not batting your eyelashes. So it's an interesting. And then I learned lenses. And then I learned an ingenue lens, because when I went to Costa Rica, I took the primes, but I also took an ingenue.
Okay.
An ingenue is from 12 to 1, because there's 16 millimeter and there's 35 millimeter. But I had the 35 millimeter version. I think it's 16 to 135, one something. So
That's one hell of a lens.
I did, but what happens is they tell you not to do it, because that's why you have primes. Primes are crisper, they're clearer. But with an ingenue, you keep it on the camera and you just go, okay, give me the 35. Okay, let's go into a 50 now, 55. So we have a little bit more, and then he just goes forward. So And when it's a close up, well, you know you're going to be in a 90 millimeter or, you know, anywhere from 80 up.
Yeah.
And because you're back here, boom. So it's a wonderful opportunity to just learn, and you know where it is, and second nature, you know what they're doing with the camera. I remember telling Marta Dubois once we were in a scene, and we're going to shoot her close up. And I told her, I said, you look at my eye that's closest to the camera. So if the camera's here on my left, that's so she looks at this eye, because what it does, it draws her look closer to the lens, and then that close up looks a lot better, you know, than if she's looking askew a little bit, because then it's not like, it doesn't look real.
And how'd you learn that?
By doing, because I saw, and I'm going, I saw strange things too. I mean, I remember Robert Stack.
Okay.
Because when I was working, I would go to other sets, and I'd be walking around, and then I'd see a scene, and I stop. Nobody says anything, and I'm watching these actors perform. And Robert Stack, at one time, he had this little, kind of like a little blue little thing. He unscrewed it, you know, his person brought it over, and he would put some on his finger, and that person who worked with him had a mirror, would show him. And he's putting this stuff on his teeth, and I'm going, wow, he's whitening his teeth before the scene. Well, that's not what he was doing. He was putting Vaseline. And why? Because now he's in the scene with you. You have dull, yellow teeth, and his are, you know, blinding the audience when they're on his take.
Yeah.
And I'm going, but you learn these little tricks that people were doing, you know. And remember, they always say, it's incredible, he wasn't doing anything, but yet when you see it on the screen, it's like it was just pouring out of him. I felt it. But when I was standing there, there's nothing. And you go, well, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You know, and that's the subtlety that, like Brando, any one of those actors, you know, that we know are so-called method or whatever, but there are actors that aren't in the method are just as good and just as conscientious about the moment that they're in, you know.
I think a good director of photography helps out too, because I've worked with a lot of...
Yes.
Yeah, like I've done a lot of commercial work, and I think that's important to just know your director of photography before you start shooting, and form a little bit of a relationship with everyone on set.
Yeah.
And that way they'll feel comfortable telling you, hey, you look a little to your left, you know, a little more, a little up. Okay, keep that eye line. So you know wherever you just stop to make a mark, and always continue to look at that mark. Like if you want to look at not directly into the camera, but you want to look like you're facing the camera, you look right above the camera. Like there's certain tricks and stuff you learn, but like I learned a lot of that from DPs. Director photographer.
But you're talking about shortcuts, both of us right now, that young actors listening who are going to be working in film, those little things add up. And if you know them ahead of time, you know, that's why doing student films and so forth are important, because you're actually getting experience.
Yeah, Brad and I saw that in action. There was a guy we were working with who hadn't done a lot of like serious film work, and he doesn't understand light blocking and camera blocking and getting away from the scene when you're done, and how important eyeline is. Even
when you explain it to them in the most layman terms you can, basically like, here's your mark, you know, get in, do this, hit your mark, and then back up. Get out of the shot. And it couldn't be done. The guy could not do it.
Hey, next time you watch a movie, and I don't care what movie it is, you watch that actor in a scene, if it's a wide shot, you know, and you see everybody, and that actor has to move from the background forward to get into a scene with the actors in the foreground. The first thing he's going to do is walk, look down, and then get into position. And you'll see every famous actor in the world doing that. And you go, what in the hell is the matter with these people? You don't look at your mark. You go, you start, you know where the camera is. You know where you're supposed to end up, right? Well, that's your rehearsal. You go, You see where the mark is, you see where your feet are, but you also see what's your eye line to the right, to the left, how close is your dick to the desk,
Yeah.
those kind of things, and it gives you, and I it kills me when I see famous actors who've been doing this for 20, 100,000 years,
Yeah.
and they all do the same thing. They walk up, look, even in the close-ups when they have to move into it,
Yeah.
and so it's a 2-shot, they're looking down and then they look up. And there's the other thing that I kind of hate when I see it, but I've done it. When you're looking at the actor and the camera's on you, it's your close-up, and you're staying in the scene and you're doing this.
Oh, and the eye twitch.
Oh, it's not a twitch. They're doing it on purpose to stay focused. And they don't realize that the camera is looking at them, and they go, "What? Something matter with that person?"
Thing is, what's the trick to that? Focus on one eye.
It's really just actually paying attention to the other person.
Okay.
Because acting is reacting, right?
Yes.
So they're not reacting. What they're doing is just standing there trying to act. But you're not
Yes.
supposed to try to act.
That's
you're supposed to
a
react.
good point.
To,
Okay.
So that's it.
But that's the exercise they give you to stay, and you'll see famous actors doing a bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
But what it does, it takes me, the viewer, out of the scene.
Absolutely.
Right.
It's
Yeah, how could it not?
distracting.
Yeah, you're no longer listening or watching the scene. You're watching the
You're hyper focused on his actions.
the ping pong effect.
That would make me nuts.
Yeah.
An actor trying to steal the scene, that's for sure, with their eyeballs.
Well, they don't steal it. They do steal
They
it in
do
a way, and they take it away from the audience as well. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good because it's so simple to just stay focused, especially when you're listening. And that's the most important thing in acting is listening, because before I say something, you're focused on me because I'm going to say something.
And I'm not going like this.
No, you're not. Right. No. And then instead of say, if you're excited, if you're angry, and so you'll interrupt or you'll do that, but you have to make sure as an actor before the sound person, can I do this?
Yeah.
Are the two of us in the scene? If you're not, then it's a different story. It's a little bit more difficult to do because of the cutting. But if they see you and then you can have that argument, that'd be great, so.
Yeah, I think the classes and workshops and stuff that you take as an actor are so important. And to continue to do it as an actor just throughout your life is so important because you get to practice this kind of stuff.
You take your time.
Yeah.
If there's one thing I learned is you don't rush it. Young actors will rush their lines to get them out of their mouth because they're nervous and they're not listening. As you get older, you maybe get a little lazy, but you're not because you're focused and you're listening, and then you ponder. That's a great word. What's pondering? You're thinking. Oh, you're getting ready to say something, but yeah, okay, whatever you say, tomorrow. So you break things up. You do a Christopher Walken. Listen to him. Why is he talking that way? One, it comes natural to him. That's just the way it is. But if you heard him, when he gets his scripts, there are no punctuations. No punctuations whatsoever.
He puts his own flavor into that stuff.
Yeah, because you'll know when to pause, when not to pause, when to just, not say anything if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Then you can improvise.
Yeah.
Well, I've worked with some of those actors that don't work on their craft. And as much as it is nervous, I think they're also like, they just want to get the line out. You're done with your line, so now here's mine.
My turn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, even if you try to work with them and you try to get them past that to understand their craft, that is something you actually have to work at. It was tough. And of course, when you're first starting, you work with these people. I mean, that's just natural. But you kind of want to see a growth, the more projects you do and the more things you do. And there's people that I haven't seen any growth in, and I'm still seeing them 10 years later doing the same performances that they were doing 10 years ago, and it just seems like they're just reading. And it's like, why isn't anyone in their circle going, hey, you need to get your shit together?
Yeah.
But there's something interesting in what you just said. Not that the whole thing wasn't interesting.
Yeah, it was okay.
But you know what I mean. You know what I mean, okay?
It was a bit of a
But
tangent.
here's the thing.
Money.
When you see Burt Lancaster, isn't it Burt Lancaster?
It is.
When you see John Wayne, isn't it John Wayne?
It is.
Okay. So when you see these, the concept of being a method actor, De Niro, Pacino, what are you watching? De Niro. What is De Niro changing, that really makes that scene so much different from another scene or whatever? Okay, so he gets fat. He gets skinny. Okay, he's a hood, so he talks differently. But what makes him solid is that he's real. That reality that he brings to it creates character based on also how he talks and so forth. But essentially, it's still Robert De Niro.
Right.
So there's no reason to go crazy. On theater, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Totally.
You've got to walk different. You got to talk different. You got to, hair, makeup, all of those things to play with.
Right.
But on film, they're looking at you. And most actors become famous or popular because of their previous work and who they are as a personality.
Right.
Yeah.
That doesn't take away from the fact that they're not good actors. They're great actors.
Yeah.
Because they make it work for them,
Yeah, that's why like during the audition process, I always felt like it was so important to just be
Yourself.
sell yourself. Yeah, sell you before you sell the character, because they can kind of tweak your performance here and there.
Oh,
If they like you,
absolutely.
they won't want to get rid of you. They'll be like, oh, they're probably a good actor. Let's see what else they can do. And they'll give you a couple different ways to try it to see if they can get something out of you, as opposed to just being like, meh, they were all right. Next.
Yeah, they left an impression.
When did you start acting?
Professionally, I was like 24.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you're 55 now?
I'm 155 now.
Oh, well, you see, look at all that experience.
Yeah, lots of experience.
I started.
She's acting right now. She's
Yeah.
acting like she likes hanging out with
Yeah.
us. It's great.
I started doing commercials for people when I was like 18, but I didn't actually I got paid like $100 here and there. It wasn't something I was doing like for a job.
Yeah.
But then when I turned 24, I was like, no, I'm going to do this because I feel like everyone else is doing it. Why can't I do it?
Mhm.
That's my skill set, is
Jump in there.
music and acting. And this is what I've been doing since I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. I've been doing it since I could talk in multiple languages. So why can't I do it? So I just dove in head first.
I think people do that. They start when you'll see that in a child. The class clown. That's what I was to a certain extent. And I told stories. I would get the kids and I'd tell them stories of things. And so somehow there's something in you already that propels you into that passionate world of film, theater. You're expressing yourself. You're finding a way to do it. And I think that's beautiful.
I think it also goes back to like, I know this sounds crazy, but I think genetics have a lot to do with it. You know how they say Nepo babies, they all do the same line of work. But I do think it's genetic too, because like your family, your mom and dad were musicians as well.
Yeah. What babies?
Nepotism babies, Nepo babies. Yeah. Like the kids that, the children to the big actors. Like, for example, Dennis Quaid has a son, Jack Quaid.
Yes.
And he's always labeled a Nepo baby. But that guy's a really good actor.
Yeah.
You know,
is.
despite the fact that he's Dennis Quaid's son, he's phenomenal on everything he does. He really steals a lot of the scenes.
He paves his own way.
Absolutely. So it's like, but I'm sure a lot of it is hard work. A lot of it, I'm sure, is genetics, because you kind of have that in you. Like my family they were all musicians, and were all performers. My dad, my grandpa, my dad was in a band here with one of his friends, and his friend's daughter was like third place in Armenian Idol. So like, I really do feel like it's a family thing. If it's in your bloodline, you kind of want to do it.
Well, you're exposed to it.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are not exposed to the arts.
Yeah.
But I was as a child, because my dad played the guitar and sang. My mom, and he actually cut a record, and I go, oh. So somehow, it's in your genes, and you're fulfilling what they did not grasp or go for. and now you're fulfilling their dreams. It's amazing, but you're right.
It is. Yeah, because like I tell this story all the time. I tried so hard to play the guitar. I still have a guitar in my room. I pick at it every so often because I really love it. It's beautiful. I want to learn how to play. And I can play a lot of other instruments pretty well. But my God, I'm so mad that my brother just picked up the guitar one day and started playing like some sort of professional guitar player.
Just took to it?
Yeah, just took to it. Just picked it up and started playing all these random chords. I was in my bedroom and I could hear music down the hall. And I walked down the hall thinking someone left a CD player. Well, back then, we had CD players that we'd use all the time. So I was like, oh, someone left a CD on. Let me go turn it off. And I went into the living room and I'm like looking around and I turned the corner and my brother's just sitting on the couch playing a guitar. And I was like, that's you? Are you kidding me?
Yep.
I'm pissed. I want to know how to
old
play
was
like
he?
that. He was like 13,
Holy moly.
12 or 13. And I mean, playing these chords because I was still living at home back then. So I had to have been like 17. No, so he was even younger than that. He was probably like 11 or 12 because I was like 16 or 17. And he was so good. And it made me so mad and he was like, haha, because he would go to piano lessons with me and I picked up the piano really fast. And
Yeah.
he just could not play the piano. He just couldn't do it. And he was like, that's what you get because I can play the guitar and you can't. But yeah. So I do think it's kind of genetic. Like you just pick some things up and some things you don't. And my grandpa played the banjo and the guitar. And I feel like my brother got that from him. Stupid.
How about you, Jace?
I don't know where mine came from because...
Oh, you have talent?
Oh,
Yeah.
stop it. Oh, stop it.
Oh, you know I said that
No, no,
lovingly.
I know you did. No, my parents are creative. Like my dad used to, he would draw architecture stuff, and my mom was always crafty. But as far as the writing and stuff, the drawing maybe came from my dad.
Oh, you do draw.
Off and on. I
Yeah.
did more as a kid,
He's good.
but
He is good. I've seen a lot of his stuff.
Yeah, but it was like the writing thing. I don't know who I can attribute that to, so I don't know if I would count as a nepo baby
You know, I thought she
because
Has
they never
anyone
made a
famous?
career out of it.
Yeah.
you know what I thought she said.
A nipple baby, someone who's just
Yes, we all are nipple babies.
someone who is stuck on the tit.
I can't wait to hear this back so I can listen and be like, did I say nipple?
Nipple
Well,
baby.
it sounded like it to me, and I'm going.
you're a pervert.
I looked at you, and you just said,
Because I knew.
Yeah, I know everyone
Right away.
reacted. So
I knew.
I know I had to have said it wrong. I'm gonna go back and listen to this and be like, I'll never say the word nepo again.
No more nepo.
Wow.
Free
Well,
free the nepo.
I'm not a nipple baby or a nepo baby, but I was actually supported by my parents. Like they championed like the
Yeah.
arts, you know, because my dad was like an A-class machinist for McDonnell Douglas. I was not smart enough to do any of that stuff. He has tools. I don't even know what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So, but they definitely supported me in
Yeah.
the shit that I wanted to do. You know, it's like, oh, I want to be an artist. So it was like, well, let's go get you all the paints or the canvas or whatever it is that you wanted to do. When it turned to film, it was, let's go get a camera.
How old were you though when you knew that?
That I wanted to be like,
That you felt the need to create and
actually it was around 80, maybe 84, 85 when I was really like started getting passionate about writing.
so how
And-
old were you?
Oh God, I was like 11,
Oh,
you know, 10.
1985. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's like the world, you know, when time goes by and you.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I deal with that on a daily basis too now, being almost 50. I'm just like, there's things I hear and I'm just like, no, that's not right. Then you do the math, you're like, fuck, that's
Yeah.
right. Holy shit, that's right. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, in school, I was writing all the time. And one of my English teachers had submitted one of my stories and it got picked and it went into like this book of poetry. It got published at like a super young age. And obviously like Young Writers Conference, I was always in that shit. And I mean, I actually did pretty well in school. But honestly, like I was telling them the other day, I was bored in school. I wasn't challenged by it. Like I was good at it, but I wasn't challenged. And I just kind of started screwing around. But I mean, I never thought film school was my direction to go.
Me neither.
And again, it's like I never wanted to be an actor. I did go on a couple of auditions and I did do a couple of things. And it was like, sitting around waiting. I was watching all the stuff going on behind the camera, and I was like, well, that's interesting. Or watching like these guys, which I now knew were like production designers, fixing things and set decking and, you know, doing stuff. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. So I kind of started leaning more towards that. And yeah, I never, no. As soon as I got behind the camera, I was like, I don't want to go back. I don't want to act.
But you know, you seem to me to be very self-motivated. That's another problem with filmmakers is that they start it and then it doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
They're self-motivated, but they don't take it to the end. I'm one of those people.
Yeah.
Actually.
I mean, I'm definitely guilty of it too from time to time. And also, you know, you do got to have a team behind you. You know, you got to have people that are willing to go through that nightmare of making a movie. You know, you can't do it on your own. You know, I mean, of course, as a director, it is almost all your fault, though, if something goes wrong. You know,
you're the one they're going to point at.
Yeah, that
one way or the other.
When we all know it's actually the assistant director's fault.
Oh man, she's still waving this flag, aren't you?
I don't know what flag it is, but yeah, I'm waving it.
Of the
But you know
assistant
what?
Director.
If you read a bad review for a movie, no one's going, you know, that goddamn
Fucking
assistant director.
director. Exactly.
Yep. We all know though.
No, in
I'm
most
just
of the
kidding.
cases, it's the actor's fault. The director
Yeah.
was terrific, though. And you stop to think about what?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I mean, I do love being on set. Like my favorite part is actually just being on set, no matter what facet. If we're rehearsing or building or, you know, whatever it may be, I love being on set. It's stressful as hell, you know, trying to convey your emotion and enthusiasm to someone and
Who didn't birth it.
who didn't birth it. And also, you know, you got to be receptive in an actor saying, yeah, but I don't know if that's what they would do or say. You got to be able to find that happy medium, you know, to where you're both. It's weird. It's like a good deal is when you're both unhappy and happy at the same time.
Yeah.
Yep.
Honestly, you know, and that's, I'm a big rehearsal guy. I love rehearsing. Like I really do. Like when we shot our feature, we rehearsed for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's great.
And it's like, you know, we had the time, we had the money, we had, you know, like we could do it. And it was great because I said when the guys got on set, they had script in their hand and the set wasn't even fully built. But over those few months, the set was coming together and then they're holding the books and then now they're looking at it and setting it down. And then comes a time where they're just completely off book and they're hitting their marks. And, you know, then we go into camera blocking and it was awesome. But it was cool because they were so on the money.
Yeah.
You know, it was great because she always complained to me like, you're a lazy director. You don't do anything.
And then you got
I don't
off the
think I ever did
recliner
that.
and was
No,
like,
no.
fuck it. All right.
Well, I mean, I actually have those clips on this computer right here of her giving me shit over that.
That's hilarious.
But
That
it was-
wasn't me.
But it was because they were so rehearsed and we had already pretty much done the movie. And so all we were doing now was just filming it. And
No, that's true. I was teasing him about that because I was
See?
like, yeah, I was. This is true. Because we rehearsed it so much that we were like a whole day ahead of schedule. On day like 3, we got so far ahead that I was like, well, is there any scene you guys want to shoot today? Because
Yeah.
we're so far ahead. I mean, we can go home early or you guys can pick. And we can do a scene
Yeah.
that you guys want to do and just knock it out today. And they were like, yeah, we had like
It was a
6
hefty
hours
script, and it
left
was-
to the day.
yeah, and it was like 120 plus page script, right?
Yeah, and thank God we got done so early because we had a couple, there's some sort of mishap with the scripts and someone got sent a wrong script and they came in to shoot and they didn't know any of their lines, but it wasn't their fault. They got the wrong script. They got an older version of the script. So it took us all day to shoot what would have taken 2 to 4 hours. So thank goodness we got so ahead of schedule because of all his rehearsals.
She had to feed the actor his lines.
Yeah. That's why when you said
Dude.
did you have your lines fed to you? I was like,
So
no. But yeah.
But here's what's funny
While you were shooting.
while we were shooting.
Wow.
So, but here's actually how that worked. In the editing process, I was able to hold on a beat a little bit longer, and it almost turned his not being prepared, and it wasn't his fault again.
wasn't
You know,
his
but he wasn't prepared. It turned it into almost kind of like unsure of what's going on in the scene. So I would hold on him after he would say the line, and he would kind of like look around. and then cut to the guys.
Right, that makes sense.
And then they're kind of looking around, and it created a tension that wasn't actually in the script to begin with. It was just them firing questions back and forth to each other. So I like that aspect of being on set too, because, you know, there's all these like little fires you got to put out. They're happy accidents. As a director, you always got to have an answer ready, and you always got to have an exit strategy of how to make something work. That's always the first and foremost, because everyone's going to come to you, and you got to have an answer. Even if you don't fucking know,
That's right.
you got to have that answer. But I kind of thrive on that chaos a little bit. And
Me too.
and it's exciting, you know, because it's just like, I don't fucking know. I mean, the first time Jason and I ever met was on a set of a movie that he wrote. You know, we were shooting it at my studio. We flew, you know, he flew out to be in the film, and we ran into an issue outside. We had a body in a trunk, and people basically explaining what's going on, why the body's in the trunk, and then trying to get that person in the warehouse. There was a little issue there that we needed to work out. And it was kind of cool because A, I'd never directed anyone else's material. It's only been my own. B, I just met this guy, and I'm like actually cutting shit from his script. I'm like, I don't want to do this. I'm Xing it. No,
Right,
we'll move on. And it's funny because one of the guys on the team kind of looked over like, hey, and he was just sitting there, and I'm like cutting. I don't like this. No, we're not doing this. But when we ran into this issue, it was nice having him on set, because I'd be like, hey, come here, let's figure this out, you know?
Mhm.
And we did. He jumped up, and we figured it out. And so it's like, I love it sounds fucking sadistic to say, but it's like, I love the problems.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I do. When things go too smooth, it's like something's wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something is wrong, except for performance. When an actor is really doing something magical, that's when the true magic is happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to bottle that.
Mhm.
Yes. And I'll be honest with you, I've only had it a couple times in my life being on set. And not just because you're here, but one of them was working with you the first time, you know, and seeing what you were giving me, which was way more than what I wrote.
Mm.
That was amazing.
Well, that's very kind of you.
That was literally dream come true shit. And then the second time was, you know, in my feature, watching my two leads give this performance to where in the middle of it, I'm looking around and everybody on set is crying. I mean, people behind the scenes. And it was, wow. I couldn't have asked for anything, you know. So I do love being on set, and I can't wait for us to all get back on set. But yeah, this was cool. I'm glad you guys came in and
Agreed.
wanted to do this, like, you know, just to kind of share stories of what it's like being in the industry, because it's a crazy ride, and we've all kind of taken different journeys, but we're all here right now because of this shit. It's all because of film, why we're all sitting here at this table.
Still
And-
plugging away.
And I'm excited. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited because I want to see both of you guys get in front of the camera again. You know, hopefully we create something that, you know, you guys want to do. And
Vinyl Redemption.
What?
Vinyl Redemption. Cathedral.
I thought
What are those?
I've heard somebody out there, but it's beyond my.
Twas in the distance.
Vinyl Redemption. Cathedral.
there are a couple of scripts we have
Oh,
That-
I see. I see.
we're kind of passionate about. I mean,
Cathedral.
Cathedral.
yeah.
Oh,
My
Cathedrals
heart
are really
flies
cool.
out of my chest every time. we
I have to
see
send you that
someone else
script.
does one. I'll let you guess which
It's like-
character is mine.
It's like in a
I've called.
Italian giallo movie. He's like, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Italian Jello.
Jello.
Oh, yellow.
Giallo.
Giallo.
Oh, Jello.
Yeah, well, yellow. All right.
It is yellow.
Marcello.
You've never heard of Giallo, but you've heard of Jacques Tati.
Wow.
Wow, what a
Yeah,
way.
it's
What a
like-
fucking pull. You've been setting on that fucker the whole show.
I've been
haven't you?
trying to find a way to work Jacques Tati in.
Oh my God, but Jello. Is this an Italian director or something?
No, basically their version of a thriller, like a Hitchcockian type thriller.
An Italian
And they call
film.
it
A Giallo film.
It's
Giallo.
Giallo is Italian for yellow,
Oh.
and apparently they're over there, their Pulp Fiction,
Oh,
like
yellow
their
newspaper.
paperbacks.
Yes.
Yep, they came in yellow covers, and they just created the.
That's why they in the United States they call it yellow press.
Mhm.
Yeah, I get
So-
it. Now I know yellow.
It's
Giallo.
Giallo.
Oh, Jello. Ew.
I don't know. Do you two have anything else to say?
Stay tuned for more fun shows that are going to be appearing on the 5195 podcast network. There's going to be one soon, unnamed, that Richard and I are going to bless you guys with.
Oh, fuck. You beat me.
Yep.
Hey, I was very pleased and humbled that you would ask me to get in bed with you. And I think, that's a media
opening.
That's a media
It's a media term.
term. Yeah, come on.
I thought you were trying to get us clickbait. We just got some good clickbait for later.
That is good clickbait.
Yeah.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
Okay.
That'd be good.
No, I think we have something to say, something to hear from the audience, and
I'll be there.
if they want us to talk about certain topics and things that they're concerned about or want to know about, that maybe then we'll send them to you guys.
Yeah.
Cool.
We're just going to talk about nerd boring stuff like sci-fi and aliens and conspiracy theories and
Still up my alley.
yeah.
Loving it.
Cool stuff, nerd stuff that we're more into.
And what I was dreaming last night as opposed to this morning.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I was waving to my screen. I'm recording.
Oh, but it's pointing to you.
It is pointing to me, yes.
Hey,
Because I'm
actors.
actors,
Actors.
egotistical
That's
actors.
how they
At
are.
one point, it was directed towards you guys.
It's
Maddie got
called-
to see you for a little bit.
Oh, did she? That's
Yeah.
It goes me.
Me. I'm a star.
You do not.
I will not accept a life I do not deserve.
There it is.
Yeah, we've been quoting Maxine and Pearl all day. Yeah, because she's this poor little girl.
I thought it was Andy Griffith.
No,
Did sound kind of hodunk, didn't it?
well, that she
But
sounds ho dunk.
She's a southern gal.
She is.
She talks like
Maxine
this.
fucking Manx.
Yep, that's her.
That roar in the crowd, and I think, oh man, it was on Turner Classic Movies recently, and man, that guy was big.
Whoa.
He was out there, and
Did you get in bed with him too?
I tried,
It is
But-
Hollywood.
but I was just watching. I was
Oh.
I was learning.
Wow.
Oh,
He
He's a
was
Yeah,
good.
voyeuring.
Well, he got the Academy Award, didn't he? Or he was nominated.
Who the fuck are you talking about?
Andy Griffith.
Oh, yeah,
For
sure.
what? Which one?
For taking opie fishing.
Facing the crowd?
Oh, the face in the crowd. Yeah, I call it the roar of the crowd. Right?
Oh,
know
that's
you-
what you
yeah.
said. Okay.
Facing the crowd.
And what's her name? The woman.
Aunt B.
Huh?
Aunt B?
No. In the feature film, she was also in HUD with, and I also saw
Priscilla
her.
Uribe.
No. And I saw her in Fountainhead with Gary Cooper. Oh man, and she had well, I'm not gonna say.
Oh.
Oh,
different. That's the other thing about character, faces and people, their look. Barbara Stanwyck.
Yeah.
Look how she grew up to be a woman that was so powerful in real life, and Joan Crawford, and she was a flapper.
that's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It's rude.
Yeah, she was a flapper.
She can't help what
and
happens when things start.
She was in
drooping.
silent films. You would never know that about Joan Crawford. Yeah, she was a dancer.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I wish you would have said dancer.
Me too.
Some of these people were so multi-talented.
Yes.
You would never know.
Yeah.
Because they were so good at the one thing and they got so famous and popular off the one thing, you'd never know that they're actually full of all these weird little quirky talents.
Have you ever seen Buddy Ebsen when he first started out? He was a hoofer, a tall, lanky hoofer, and he was a comedy. He and his sister worked together at MGM in movies.
Okay.
And you would never think that he would ever become what he became.
Yeah.
But he was it was during the 30s. He was a very, very go-to comedy support.
Okay.
And they would write things for him that just were just out of this world. And you go, who the hell is that? But you know who it was, you know. It's like Walter Brennan was 19 when he did, with Gary Cooper, Sergeant York.
19. Wow, so young.
Yeah, but he played his uncle.
That's so
She
funny.
was right there, Gary.
How funny.
Yeah, Sarge, just keep down that freaking mule.
That's crazy. He's so versatile. Look at
I love Walter Brennan.
I used to do that, and that mule kept going up. What was that? Remember that mule song that
No.
he did?
I'm sorry.
Nobody's gonna get this stuff, but
No, they will.
oh,
That's why there's Google.
It's up to them to look it up. Yeah.
Well, you're right, because I think some of the most incredible people were the character actors from the past that you
Agreed.
would see, you know.
Scene stealers.
And I used to know all of their names, and I look, especially when you look on Turner Classic Movies, you get to see all these wonderful, wonderful, crazy performers, you know. Just terrific.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about more of this stuff on our show. So yeah, thank you also for agreeing to do the show with me, because you're a treasure trove full of knowledge that I wouldn't even think to look these people up. Like,
That's
I remember the reason we bring up the Jacques Tati joke all the time is because Richard taught us who he is. We didn't know who he was.
Have you ever
at first.
seen it?
I just picked up one of his movies.
Yeah, we were out
Incredible.
in the wild and we saw it in the wild. So we were like, oh, what is this?
Because
We
of you, I
yeah.
picked it up, and I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch it.
He writes, directs,
Yeah.
and I think he does the music too. I can't remember.
Yeah.
And I had a friend who knew him, and she was married to somebody else, and he was trying to take her away. Oh no, she was with.
Drama.
I know she was with. Oh man, the mime, the most famous mime,
Marcel
Marceau. She was with Marcel Marceau. This is in Paris. She's Uruguayan. She lived in Rome. I mean, incredible actress.
Wow.
Worked for Fellini and so forth. But here she was in Paris with Marcel Marceau. And Jacques Tati was trying to woo her away from Marcel Marceau. I mean, can you fathom that? And Ilsa was just an incredible human being. I mean, bigger than life. And, like those old movies that you would see in Italy, you know, oh, darling, come over here, give me a cigarette, you know, kind of thing. And she had this wonderful, wonderful persona. And when I would go to Europe, I would visit her and other people that I knew. And yeah, the actors in that side of the ocean are different.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
They're bigger than life. And you just sit there and it's a movie and it's a theater.
Wow.
Yeah. it's
There's the
great.
title of your show. It's called That's Good Tea.
Wow.
What does your tea have in it?
Gossip.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we're going to do.
You know, that's a slang for gossip is tea.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's what he said it. Yep.
That's good tea.
Yeah, that's
Richard.
good tea.
Oh,
Yeah,
That's good
slang
gossip. Good
Yep.
gossip.
Tea time with Tina.
Hey.
Tea time with Tina.
Oh, God.
And Dickie's there to taste it.
Interwebs.
Here we go. All right. Well, I guess it's time to get out of here.
All right, everybody
Alrighty.
shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Time to go.
Okay.
Hey, Tina.
Yes.
Later, Gator.
Later. See you later, alligator.
You got it. See you soon, baboon.
After a while, crocodile.
Shallow.
Hello. Well, thanks for coming. I was going to say thank you guys for coming. but,
Arrivederci.
This was Chase.
Body geshed.
This was a bad idea.
Adios. Adios.
Yeah.
All right.
What's this about backdoor pilots?
Back door. All right. Until next time.
Ouch.
See you guys.
Bye.
I hope.
Oh, fuck.